Hey everyone, you ready to wrap your mind around a brand new drum VST? This is MindSt from Modalics. We're going to be checking out a brand new drum VST, and thanks to the guys over at Modalics for sending this over. This is a new drum instrument that you can put into any DAW, or you can use it as a standalone. Now, the samples for this were meticulously crafted, and there are a ton of samples that are in this VST, but instead of talking about it, let's go ahead and just write something real fast with the bass that I started earlier. Let's dive into the DAW. Okay, so this is where we're kind of starting. I already have MindSt Drums loaded in, but we're not going to do anything with them just yet. We'll pull some stuff in later. I started off with an electric piano, and I'm just using just a synth for this. So here's the electric piano. And then after that, I added in a bass line, and I just wanted it to be really driving, so I just made it 16th notes, kind of following the root, and I did a little funky thing where I just did like octaves in the second run around of this, because it's just the same thing looping over, and the bass added in sounds like this. So you can hear there's already a lot of movement. Now, this could probably use a lead and then, of course, some vocals. So maybe we'll add some of that stuff in real fast. Now we have a nice bass layer going on here. Let's go ahead and I'm going to actually go into my files and I'm going to go into just the basic groove collection available from me. If you want to pick up a copy for yourself, head to timflansbaum.com. So we're going to use some of the grooves that are available in here and finally get into MindSt Drums. And this is the overall look of the thing. There's 1.5 million controls, and we're going to get into that in just a minute. But first, let's start pulling in some grooves from just the basics and see what kinds of sounds we can get. We're on the default, and let's just see what we got. I'm going to try Pa, and I'm just going to drag this in and put it right on with the grid. And now let's take a listen to our beat with drums. Okay, this is already starting to come together really quick, and I like that I can just use any drum groove that's available, including the ones from just the basics, and just drag them in, maybe make a minor modification to the mapping, but everything is ready to go because it already uses general MIDI minus a couple things. But you'll find that in any drum VST. But included with MindSt is a ton of grooves available in just this center section here. All of the different things inside of these menus, these are different grooves, and you can drag them into your session. Maybe you want something fusion, you want some vini-vidi. Select your groove, then this button right here, you click and you drag right into your session, and now you instantly have an extra 8 beats with this groove of a completely different feel. All right, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to just loop it again, but as it's going, I'm going to switch through different presets so you can hear all of the different kinds of sounds you can get with just the presets inside of MindSt. Take a listen to this. So you can see, and we're not even through a lot of the presets that are already in here. So not only do you have an extensive preset library, you have an extensive MIDI groove library, or you can use any of the grooves you have available as well, just drag them in. And that's not it. You can also dive into the mapping and change that to your needs, but there's also a very robust mixer built into this plugin. And now you can see we can adjust whatever we need. Here's our kick, our snare, our hat, overheads, rooms, cymbals, toms, and there's even more from here because we can go to all, and now we have our alternate crash, our ride, our flat ride, splash, effects crash, and the stack. So you can go in and adjust all of these things. I'm going to go back to main to just get us our main ones. And let's just kind of look at this real fast. So here's your panner, solo, mute, things we would see in a standard mixer. Here's your volume fader. And here are your activation buttons for the compression or the EQ that you can put on per channel inside of MindSt. So you can have different EQ on your kick drum than you would on your snare drum. You're not just using it as like a stereo bus and trying to fix from there. You can go in and adjust the EQ on just your kick drum. How do you adjust the EQ? Well, click on the channel and you can see that it highlights on your screen, and then the right-hand side of the plugin changes. Now we're looking at the EQ section right down here. This is the preset EQ that is in Gentle Jazz for this kick drum. So it's doing a nice little low shelf at 98 and giving a nice little bump. And then it also has a high mid cut at about 2K. There's also a couple little other things going on, but this is showing you the controls and the manipulation you can do on just your kick. So here's your EQ. Maybe you want your compression because that's a button that's right here. Turn your compressor on, it activates here. Increase your ratio, adjust your attack and your release time. Here's your makeup gain, your mix control, and your threshold is right here. And this is only dependent on this channel. If I switch over to my snare drum, you can see the compressor is not even on. So I can go ahead and turn it on from there, do something really crazy on my snare drum, go back to my kick drum, and maybe just a little bit of compression here. So you have individual controls just like you would if you did the multi-out from this and spread it across your mixer. The difference is you can't load your plugins into MindSt. So just keep that in mind when you're mixing. But there's a lot of things already in here. There's drive. If you want to do some drive, distortion, or saturation, not in that order, but if you wanted to overdrive any of your channels, you can. It's built right in. Compression built right in. EQ built right in. And then send, there is two different kinds of reverbs built in already. Studio verb, which is more of like a room, and then plate verb, which is a plate. Also, we're still on kick drum. You can see we have controls of our kick in mic, our kick out mic, the kick con. I'm not sure about that one. We'll have to mess with that. And then submix, which is your sub synthesizer. And if you click on this little wave icon here, you can actually change parameters of that sub synthesizer. So we were just looking at the individual channels. Now, if you click on master and effects, you actually get a master compression and effects section. So we have overdrive, compression, and a low pass filter right here. So you can actually kind of turn this into a lo-fi kit if that's something you're looking to do, which actually I was kind of inspired by with a different preset. But we'll get to that some other time. So now that we're in the mixer, let's go back into the drums and just start manipulating and see what we come up with now. So as you can see, there is a ton of manipulation that you can do within MindSt Drums. Like I said earlier in the video, there's a ton of samples in here, lots of different presets, over 100 different MIDI grooves that are in here, and you can use your own as well. Built-in mixer, there's so many different articulations. We really didn't even start to scratch the surface of MindSt. And we're gonna revisit this one because we'll probably use this in a heavier kind of setting. Right now, we're just kind of messing around and checking out what this thing can do. Next time, we'll definitely push it to the limits. So make sure you're subscribed. MindSt Drums is available right now, and you can use the link down in the description if you want to pick it up at the intro price. When this video comes out, it is on sale for $99 US, and then it'll go back up to its normal $149 US price after the intro period. Have some fun with your drums, manipulate them however you need, use the grooves, and happy mixing. See you next time.